I'm TashTheMinion. Welcome to another episode of my Beginner's Guide to the Long Dark. Today we're going to look at harvesting and how to deal with wolves. We're currently in Mountain Town. We might do a little bit of looting. I want to start though. In the last episode we went to the plane crash and we were looking for that ever elusive flask. When I was editing the video back, I discovered that I'd completely missed it down by the cave. So off video, I went for a bit of a midnight stroll and went and fetched the flask, which was in the locker. So that's done, and we can now get into today's episode. We're currently at Grandmother's. I've made some teas overnight. We've slept. So the first thing we're going to do is talk about harvesting. This is the rabbit that we picked up in the last episode. Now you can harvest it, but you need to have either a hatchet or a knife with you if it's an animal that you've killed. Therefore it's not been captured by a wolf, it's not been torn already. Now luckily we found a hatchet. You can harvest it in small amounts, and this is useful to do whilst you're trying to get up to that cooking 5 that you really need, especially on interloper, where eating poor condition foods can give you food poisoning. So we really need to get up to cooking 5. Also on interloper you cannot eat bear meat or wolf meat until you are cooking 5. So small increments and cooking it will help increase that level. Now you can select up to 0.5. The minimum is 0.5, and it gives you here how many minutes it takes to harvest it and the tools that you can use. Now we've only got the hatchet at the moment, so we would harvest our first piece of meat. Okay, that will be in our inventory, and we can take another 0.4. Now when you're outside, and we'll see when we come across one, if you find a rabbit carcass or a deer carcass, you can harvest that if you've got a tool. But if you've taken down this rabbit, say we'd killed this rabbit and we hadn't got the hatchet or a hacksaw or a knife or anything, we are unable to harvest it. So early game, sometimes finding the carcasses is really useful until you have a tool to do the harvesting. So we've got all the meat off that. The other thing you'll want to do is take the hide. Now that's going to take us 45 minutes. Now I noticed our water level's a bit low. So before we spend 45 minutes, because we don't want to lose condition, we're going to eat a couple of things. And we're going to drink some water. We'll drop some of this water as well. I made a bit while off video. And then we'll go back to our rabbit, and we want to take the hide, and we also want the gut. Now it's going to take 1 hour 5 minutes to do both. So this is how many calories you will burn whilst doing that activity. So before you harvest, you need to make sure, if you're outside, that you've got enough fuel on the fire, that you're warm enough, that you're fed enough. The amount of times that you can lose well fed because you've not noticed that you're hungry whilst you're trying to get your food because you are hungry. And the guts you need for making the clothes and making a bow. So make sure as I say, you're warm enough, you've got enough fuel on the fire if you're outside, like especially if you're cooking a deer or a bear, that you're fed and that you're watered, if possible. So we're indoors, we're just going to harvest this. So what we're going to want to do then is the hide is no good to us at the moment. So it needs to cure. So we're going to drop the rabbit hide and we're going to drop the gut. And as you can see, it's 1% cured. You have to wait until it's 100% cured before you can use it. And the same with the rabbit hide. And that takes a couple of days to do. A bear, which is the biggest animal, the hide for that takes 10 days to cure. So the second thing that we're going to do is we're going to cook our meat. Now, I mentioned this in the last episode. I will mention it again. We have matches, but there is always a risk that our fire will not start the first time. So always light a torch and then light your fire. That way, if the fire fails, you don't waste another match trying to relight that fire. Okay, we'll put the torch out, we don't want to waste it. We'll put some, wrong button again. We'll put some fuel on the fire, so we've got some sticks. Now if you have a pot or a skillet, you can cook your rabbit in there. You can also cook it in a cooking slot. It takes longer to cook in a cooking slot and it burns quicker. So, and to do this, you just go and select it. So there's our rabbit meat cooking away, and it's going to take 11 minutes. They were virtually the same size, so they won't take long. If we can find some oil, we can cook some bannocks or pancakes, if we can find some maple syrup as well. We do need to up the sticks. I used quite a lot of sticks yesterday hunting for cooking up the teas and going and hunting for that flask, so we can up our sticks. We're also now, we've survived a day, so 30 hours, which means wolves are a thing. So once you're at the point where you've got wolves, you need to be carrying torches with you at all times. So our rabbit is cooked. We're going to eat that straight away. We don't want to be carrying it around. Even cooked meat is going to make you stinky. Okay, what we got on there? 14 minutes. How overweight are we? Again, it's all about weight management. So I'm going to, because I'm setting up a bit of a base here, I'm just going to drop some stuff to keep my weight down. Keep one of those. I don't need those because I've got fire starting 3. Now coal, it's better for outside fires. If you're cold, sticks may not get the temperature hot enough on an outside fire to warm you up. Coal will. Coal gives a much higher heat output. So try not to use your coal for cooking. It's not advisable. We're going to drop some of this water as well. We have an awful lot, so we're going to keep about we'll keep about that on us, and then we can just pop that on the table so it's there ready for, we can pick up and come and get it if we need it. Now on Voyager, loot's pretty good, so you don't need to kill and cook animals that much, but I want all the tips that I'm going to try and give you is how I would suggest you start learning to play, because it will make that transition from Voyager to Stalker to Interloper a little bit easier if you get used to killing the animals, getting the hides, making the clothes, etc. So we want to make sure that we have at least we've got that lovely flask now. We want to make sure that we've at least got a pot and a skillet in case we can cook somewhere else. We're going to take a torch. Now, leaving buildings, go into crouch. Okay, and this is so you're not immediately obvious to any predators outside. I want to make sure I've got some stones. Yep, we've got 4 stones. So at this point you can start going and doing some looting. Now I'm not going to go into every building and loot for you guys, because you want to discover stuff for yourself. So what we're going to do is we're going to head down to the farmhouse. The farmhouse and this Milton House, or Grey Mothers, which comes from story mode, are the most common places for setting up camp. We want to go this way. It's a little bit foggy, so you want to keep that torch going. We are liable to come into wolves, and I'm going this way because there tend to be quite a lot down here, and they can sneak between a building. Mountain Town is really good for early game loot, especially on Voyager and Stalker, but the wolves, the buildings make it difficult with the wolves. Right, we're actually coming down to the Orca, not the farm, I think. Yeah, we're coming down to the Orca. Now the problem with the Orca is that we can't get in it yet. You need a pry bar to open the door. Nope. And we haven't found a pry bar yet. When you're on Loper and food is scarcer, you could actually come this way and then hit the river. Now, keeping torch chains going is important. Get your next torch, light it from the one that's on the floor before it goes out. That way you're not wasting matches. So I'm going to go the back way to the farm. Because if we hit the river, there are a lot of cattails and there's some rose hips as well on the river. I was chatting away and I went the wrong way. We were supposed to be heading to the farmhouse. So we've got rose hips here, so we can pick more of those. And this is a great spot for interloper players where food is a lot scarcer. You don't find nice things like summit soda and that. And from here you can pick your cattails. Okay, we have a deer carcass here. This will have been taken down by a wolf, potentially, or there are deer carcasses that do spawn in the game. Now, these you can harvest without a tool, but without a tool you need to defrost it. It's 100% frozen, so we can defrost, we can harvest it because we have the hatchet, but we'd have to do, it would take up some time, and we would still, like, just to get the meat off, it'll take a while getting the hide off, so we'd need to light a fire to keep warm anyway. Let's do that. So we're going to use our torch and start a fire. Okay, we've got our fire on the go. We're just going to put some sticks on it for now because it's not that cold. Always keep an eye on your temperature. If you see a down arrow on it, then it's getting cold. Right, we've got 27 minutes, so we can. The other thing is that I would always suggest is, whilst you're by a fire, stay crouched. When you take your first piece of meat off it, the minute it goes in your inventory, you're going to be stinky. So it's best to, especially if you're halfway through harvesting something and you've got quite a bit of meat, is go into your inventory, and we're carrying 2 bedrolls, we need to drop one of those, and then drop it. And that way you're no longer stinky. Keep an eye on your surroundings in case wolf or anything is going to sneak up on us, and then we'll just pop that there. If you've got a cooking pot, you can place it in the cooking pot or in the skillet as well. Add some more fuel. We're running a little bit low on sticks, so we might have to use coal in a minute. We're keeping a look around us. Still picking up feathers. Okay. Is that one over there? Yeah. Okay, so that's not a bad shout for feathers. Right, let's take the last bit of meat off that. This one I'm going to put straight into a cooking pot, so let's place that in the pot and then we'll cook it. And you can see that that one is going to take less than that one did when we put it down, because it's going in a pot. We also want to get the hide off it. That's going to take 45 minutes. We have not got that long on our fire, so we are going to have to add the coal. And we're not going to have the time it takes for these not to burn. So how long is it going to take us to get a gut? Okay, we could probably take 1 gut while we're waiting for that meat. and the meat should not burn. Now, guts make you stinky, so you need to immediately drop the gut. Otherwise you're going to attract wolves. We're going to eat this straight away. Again, it makes you stinky. We don't want to attract the wolves. We can't cook anything else, so we've got 53 minutes on our fire. Let's take the other gut. And again, we're going to drop that straight away because we don't want to be stinky. And when you're harvesting, you need to keep an eye on your weather, things like that. Predators. Okay. We want that hide. What did we say? 45 minutes. So we're going to have to use another one of those. And let's get this hide off. The hide doesn't make you stinky, so you don't need to worry about dropping the hide. Right, we are going to go to a building over here and just drop this off. So we're going to need a torch because we are stinky now. That is not a great torch. Can we have a better torch? There we go. So we are going to be attracting wolves. So we are just going to run and see if we can find a building where we can drop these. And get up. There we go. Oh, boots. And these are the sort of things. I don't want to loot too much, because that's for you guys to discover. So we're gonna drop that as well. Okay, so we're in one of the houses. Let's pop that down there. Where's that other gut? There we go. Where's that other gut? There we go. Pop that down there. And then what we're going to do, we've got a journal. This is really useful. Now you can either make notes on the days, or you can just do a general notes. So we've got, and you can do things like one deer hide, 2 guts in a house near river in mountain town, and I think we're looking at about 5 days before ready. I'm not entirely sure, to be fair. So we're done. We've got those notes there, and then you can access these anytime. You can delete them once you've picked them up and use them and things like that. Right. And I did not crouch walking out the door, which was a bad move. Okay, which way do we need to go now? The fog is very disorientating. Let's throw this. I think we're all the way back up at... Right. So if we go, wait, there's the house. Oh, yeah. going back on myself here. Right. I'm going to try and get... Do you know what, guys? I'm going to... This is... walking around in the fog is just not... Whilst it keeps us relatively warm... Oh, we need to drink. Look at our water. So... Do a soda. And we're getting into the evening, so let's pause it here, and then we'll travel down to the farmhouse. And hopefully have better weather tomorrow. So useful things. We've come up to Grandmother's. We're standing by the bed. We're ready to sleep. But it's a little bit early and we're not quite tired enough yet. So this is the time when you start looking in your inventory, finding things to do to pass time. So can we craft stuff or can we repair stuff? So we still haven't found a coat. That hat's not too bad. Scarf could do coming up. That's not too bad. Now that's pretty bad. We haven't found a sewing kit yet, so we can't carry out any repairs. So repairs are out the window. Let's have a look at... do we actually have any bandages? We've got 2. We could probably do with 2 more. So... you can do it anywhere, any time of day. So let's craft 2 bandages. That'll give us 4 now in our inventory. We've got some torches here we can break down. So let's harvest those. We harvest those back to sticks. And it's just basically about killing time. Pretty much about everything that we can do. So we need to make sure we've got enough calories to sleep. I'm going to try for 10 hours. Okay, we've got enough calories food wise, but we have to make sure we always fill up on water or soda or whatever there is. Your water bar needs to be high. I don't think it's going to let us sleep for 10 hours. We weren't that tired. Yeah, we woke up fully rested and we've not even got the sun bar up yet. So we can probably eat some stuff. I didn't mean to eat that. That's only 31% condition. Let's hope we don't get food poisoning. No, we didn't. That's good. We've still got a torch in our hand. Let's put that away for a minute. So, what else can we eat? We've got, these are quite low. In interloper, you wouldn't eat those. Anything in yellow you just wouldn't eat, apart from teas. But food in yellow you wouldn't eat until you'd reach cooking 5, which once you reach cooking 5, you can't get food poisoning. Might as well get rid of that. let's get rid of some sodas because we are carrying some weight with us. And we'll just pass a little time. Pass time, 2 hours. And we've got enough calories to do it. And the sun's coming up now. So let's sleep for an hour. I'm just trying to waste time here, guys. Okay. So let's try again for the farmhouse. So we'll get our torch lit. Crouch, just in case there's a wolf right outside the door. Alrighty. Just make sure we've got enough stones. This is a turn I missed and I ended up down at Orca instead of going this way. So the houses here that you can go in and loot, cars that you can go in and loot. Still quite foggy. So this is the way to the Paradise Meadows farmhouse. Sometimes there are deer in the fields out front, sometimes not. There we go, we've got a deer there. Sometimes deer, oh, we've got a few today. Sometimes deer, sometimes rabbits. The wolves are a little bit elusive today. So if you've done story mode, this is where one of the escaped convicts is, that's got the knife in him. As always, we're going to keep that torch chain going, so in one moment we'll throw that. This is what we need to get in the Orca, pry bar. So that's a good find. Let's just swap torches. And then you can find food, accelerant, various stuff. Don't forget to search corpses. Well, that was lucky we did that, because that is the key to the farmhouse. You can't get in the farmhouse until you've got the key. Oh, matches too. Thank you very much. The key to the farmhouse is on that corpse, maybe. There's another jerry can there. It can be in this tractor. Okay, where's that wolf? Okay, he's after the rabbit. Now, will he see us or the rabbit? Okay, he's gone for the rabbit. That'd be useful for us, so we're going to go and fight him. Right, when you get the wolf, press 2 to put a stone in your hand and aim. it drops a torch at your feet and puts a stone in in your hand, and we're going to take that because he didn't get to have much of a munch on it. What was I saying? The key's either in that tractor, in that blue truck there, the corpse in that building, or it can be in a corpse at the back that's behind this farm building. We're getting hypothermia risk, so we need to move our buttskis. Okay, for story mode, that escaped prisoner's sitting there, if you did that first. And here we are at the farmhouse. So that was a very quick version of dealing with wolves, because you can't take too long explaining. So I hope that made sense. I can show you again slow. So if the wolf aggroes on you, so it's coming towards you and it's aggroed, on mouse and keyboard you press 2. 2 automatically arms a weapon in your hand, but it's not quite enough. You have to right click to aim, and you can do that with a stone, with a flare gun, a revolver, a rifle, or the bow. As long as it's a weapon in your hand and you aim, the wolf will run away. And then once he's run away, you can pick up the torch again. They do re-aggro after a bit if you're still in the vicinity, and they will re-aggro if you're stinky as well. So I'm going to off video continue doing some looting, getting myself together, and then we'll look at moving on to another region. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please check out the details in the video. There are some really good technical players that have YouTube channels, and I do recommend them. So please go do that. And I will see you on the next episode, guys. I'm just going to do a save, walk in, walk out, or walk out, walk in even, and we're saved. So see you on the next episode, guys. Thank you for watching. Bye.